Everything must return to dust is what she said, rubbing her palms together as the dark skin rolled off her hands. The little boy was astounded and finally understood her message. That little boy was Sigmund Freud, and the woman was his mother. Many people struggle to find meaning, and there are countless books out there that try to help with the issue. A good example for one is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Frankl, he was a Holocaust victim, and not only did he manage to survive, but he helped others find strength to go on. And in his experiments and researches, he noticed that victims who gave meaning to their life were the most likely to survive. What kept Frankl going was love, as he would spend his time looking at the clouds talking to his wife. When he was freed, he found that his family perished in Auschwitz, and despite his suffering, Frankl was met with apathy back in his village, as people had gone through so much that there was no empathy left to give. And yet, he carried on helping people even today through his books. Through similar books and hardships, one can learn to find meaning, be it in projects, family, beautiful sunrises, or even boring routines. Yet one question stands out. Why should there be a meaning? I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Essentially, why should people have a meaning? Do we have to have a meaning? Well, to understand the meaning further and the concept of it, let's treat it like a scientific issue and let's take it to the extreme. For example, it's much easier to find out if a plant is growing by comparing its height week by week rather than second by second. So then, let's expand the scope. Let's dive deeper. Instead of why should there be a meaning, we can ask, do people even have meaning? One way to go about finding the answer would be to try to remove meaning and observe the changes. Let's assume that people have meaning, and let's imagine that the person suddenly vanishes, out of thin air just like that, pop. Whoever was standing next to them would be certainly freaked out. Close relatives wouldn't be too happy either, especially if they didn't receive inheritance. Some will develop a certain debilitating condition called sadness, but compared to the rest of the human population, that will be a very small group. Well, for everyone that is not emotionally invested, the day goes on just like any other day. From this, we can conclude that the missing person and any meaning tied to them, that is, any meaning that they bring, that they give, well, it's now gone, vanished, along with them, well, it will have a noticeable effect on a small group of people. Well then, let's continue. The next logical step after making a single person vanish would be to also vanish the group of people that were affected by his disappearance. This would certainly lead to a much larger effect, causing ripples of emotional stress across multiple family systems, and possibly a natural crisis revolving around the curious case of the disappearing people. That will certainly give us a better perspective of what happens when meaning vanishes. Some people blame the disappearances on street gangs, while others say it's ghosts. While someone popular on YouTube is making a video about his theory of alien abductions. Well, so far, we have found that the result of disappearance of a person or a group would be anything from individual stress to nationwide panic. Could that be the meaning that the person has? Let's take it further to understand. What if everyone were to vanish at the same time? What if everyone disappears? There will be nobody left to grieve or even notice, right? Does this mean that there is no meaning to anyone? As in this case, it does not affect anything. We can take it further to understand. And to take it further, let's go further in time. As eons pass, the Earth will continue to spin. The glow of the sun will change, and as it runs out of fuel, it will slowly become a white dwarf, devouring nearby planets and creating a beautiful planetary nebula. And if that wasn't scary enough, wait until you find out that it's already halfway there. If we say that one Earth year is equal to 100 million years, then Earth would have lived for about 40 out of its 95 years. It's basically middle-aged. As far as the universe is concerned, the sun and the earth as we know them, they will come to an end relatively soon. So if that happens and the universe still goes on, does that mean that whole planets lack meaning? Well, does the universe have meaning then? Well, from the universe's perspective, these questions are now invalid. The universe is not aware of the concept of meaning. The universe just is, similar to the sun, the earth, and Mother Nature. The universe is the universe, with or without meaning. All of this leads back to the concept of meaning and how specific it is to humans. And I say that as I have yet to see my cat ask about the meaning of life. It seems to value food over that. Meaning is tied to human emotion and human understanding. Life, planets, galaxies, the universe, they can go on just fine with or without the concept of meaning. A black hole or a dying sun may consume them, but they wouldn't care less. They are just space dust, they are rocks, and they're simply there because they are. Do you see it yet? Having a meaning is not something that life has or has not. It is something that humans have, it is something that humans give. We give meaning to the universe, we give meaning to planets, to nature, and to life. Without us, there is no meaning. Inversely, meaning is important to us because meaning is what makes us human. Sorry if I said meaning too many times. So what if you don't have to have a meaning? Does that make you less human? I don't think so. You're free to experience your human life in any way you see fit because you have free will. Another rather human concept. The meaning of not having a meaning can be your meaning. And if you're struggling, wondering, searching deep into the rabbit hole, asking questions that no one has the answer to, then maybe it's not a logical issue, and maybe thinking is not the solution. Maybe it's a concern of the heart, and feeling is the way to go. A happy heart can always answer such questions better than any brain can. When Freud's mom showed him how he came from dust, he was amused. From dust we come, and to dust we must return. Dust gives meaning, and the means to give meaning, and then it takes it back. But what meaning would you assign to dust? Well, any meaning that you see fit. Dust can be many things. Dirt can be many things. Dust is everything. By the way, if the concept of dust sounds scary to you, you can easily replace it with stardust. In my opinion, they are entirely interchangeable, and I think you're a star. In the end of the day, we're all people and we want to be happy. Some have an easier time while some are still learning. Meaning gives purpose to many and it helps us grow, and through meaning we express ourselves and unleash the flame within. A flame that can make each one of us great, a flame that is making me record this, a flame that will help you chase your own goals, your own dreams. So allow the human in you to have a meaning.